welcome to the channel, All Things Business. Al Thomas today, and I am just excited to be on the call. Well, should I say not the call, but I'm live right here with Miss Jocelyn Driskill, who's a very important lady in my life, very good soul. Not only that, she's a great teacher. And I tell you what, been following her for years. She's just a sweetheart, and her husband is amazing. And we're going to talk about some things, so be ready, because she is a business owner. So why don't you tell me about a little bit of background about yourself and when you became an entrepreneur, and a little bit about when you started your entrepreneurship life.
So back in, when I was raised, my dad was a business owner.
Okay.
So I worked for him, I was in my early 20s, and I was his office manager for his architectural firm.
Okay.
And so he was really my catalyst for learning business. He was such a great teacher. And so I knew I wasn't going to go into architecture. I love like design and all of that, but I can't draw like he can. So I didn't go that route. But for me, it was the creative side came out in hairdressing. So that's when I became an independent business owner in hairdressing, and then opened my own salon. And I was a single mom at the time raising my daughter. So
wow, hair salon. Can you do something with mine here? I mean, do I need a wig, toupee, or can I get it braided?
Should I be honest? I can be honest with that.
You always are. So then you went from, we're friends, we go back.
Yeah.
So with that said, you started in the salon business.
Yes.
How many years were you doing that?
I did that for 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what got you in the salon business? What motivated you for that?
I've always liked the, the world of makeup and hair and all of that stuff. And so I told my dad one day, I said, I love working for you, but one of the things for me was my creativity comes in the cosmetology type of, so I'd love to go to school and do that. And he's like, you come work for me part-time, and you go to school, and that's what I did.
Wow.
And so I was really passionate about hair and makeup and that kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after that, what'd you venture after that?
After that, I met my husband during the time I owned my own salon, and we got married, and he was a general contractor. So Tony actually, because I knew the architectural world and the design and so forth, I was really focused on the interior and landscape. So I did a lot of interior and landscape for my husband's construction company. He was a high-end residential home builder, and we built a company. Not only did I do hairdressing still, I was working in his office, doing the office managing, doing all the bookkeeping that I did for my dad, because he didn't want to do that. He just wanted to be out in the field. And then I did a lot of interior and landscape design for him when we were doing high-end residential spec building homes. So we were real estate investors, and we still are. So that's something that we were passionate about, was building beautiful homes. We actually owned a home that we designed and built for ourselves, a couple of them. And then the economy crashed in 2000.
The economy crashed.
Yeah, 2008. How many of you knew that?
Yeah,
right?
we all know about that, don't we?
Yes. So at that time, a friend of mine came to me, and she shared something that we had never even thought of it before. So it's from the network marketing industry, and Tony and I just said, makes too much sense. And so we stepped into that world while hoping to rebuild the construction company, and I was still doing hair and raising a daughter, right? So
there's your daughter right back in the studio.
She's back there, yep. So, it was a blessing for us. We were really praying for something to change in our life, and that was an answer to prayer.
So tell me, when you got started in the network marketing business that you did, how was that when you first started? How did it go?
Well, I will tell you, because we didn't know that world, we sought out mentors like yourself.
Thank you.
You were someone that from the very beginning, actually, Tony and I were able, I remember running into you you were at dinner and you were at different places, and we would run into you and you would just sit down and talk with us, and because we were students and we really wanted to learn the industry. And so when you're trying to learn an industry, you have to humble yourself. So my husband and I said, hey, we know the business world, but we didn't know this world. And so we just needed to talk to the right people. And you were a huge catalyst to the growth in our business, and how we really embraced the network marketing business. And we didn't have that stigma. Like some people have the stigma to network marketing because they don't really understand it. And we just said, we want to understand it and not be blind to what we don't know.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah. So it was really a great thing to be able to meet people like yourself, and that you're willing to take the time to teach people, which doesn't happen in traditional business. You don't really get that kind of mentorship. So
yeah, it's called being cutthroat.
right?
You're my competition.
Yeah.
Let me get you out of here.
Yeah.
So with the network marketing business, how long did you start? You got started, and how long was it before you started making okay money, then great money? Would you say?
Well, I don't know that it's actually normal for everybody.
True.
But so in what I would say is being coachable to anything that you do new is really, really important. Humbling to something that you don't know, right? Yes. And being teachable. And so Tony and I were really that. We didn't have any ounce of time to think about anything else and learning something new, that we said, we're just going to learn from the people that have done it before us. And so when we did that, because we didn't have a lot of time, like how many people say, I don't have time to do one more thing, because they have kids, they have businesses, or they're working to have a career, or they're employees, right? So they're just busy. I hate the word busy. I always say I have a full day, not a busy day.
Yeah.
But for us, we just followed a system that was already in place, and we were coachable. And I will tell you, within our first 43 days of business, I don't want to say numbers, but it's really incredible what we were able to do. And it really opened our eyes to how, it really showed us, like, it does work.
Yeah.
It does work. If you work the system and you're coachable,
that's right,
it works
every time.
And then we just continued to build, and we hit some positions in the company that were really significant in a very short time. That's not everybody's story, and I think timing and all that thing, with everybody is important.
I think you said something very important, being coachable.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to do it the Frank Sinatra way, their way.
Yeah.
And remember, Frank Sinatra's the only one I know that made $1 million off that song, My Way. We come in, I know this, I'm already successful. After all, you're successful what you did, and your husband was, good in contracting, building multi-million-dollar homes. You guys could have came in with that attitude, but you didn't. You said, well, look, we don't know, but we're willing to learn. And I think that's a great thing that had pole vaulted you into success, because you were coachable.
I agree. I agree, and I teach that. That's what I teach. If you can just be, and I ask that question all the time, are you coachable? And you know how many people say, yes, I'm coachable, but it's not true?
Let me think about that. 30 plus years.
I'm sure you know.
My God, if I got $1 for all those guys, I'd be worth 20 million more. But anyway, it's so funny. I'm coachable. Yeah. But another thing you guys came in here with, when you got involved in network marketing, you said, look, our business is going down because of what happened in the economy for a lot of people. Hey, we've done great, we've made great money. Hey, we don't have time. So we condense our time down and say, look, give us the fruit and the potatoes, and give us the meat and potato of how to do this.
Yes.
And let us go. We're already hard workers. Just give us what we need to make that back to what we're used to.
100%.
And I think that was a big part of your success, is because you didn't have a lot of time, and you were coachable, and was willing and accepting the information you got from the leaders that were doing things.
Correct.
Yeah. Great.
I also think timing in business is everything too.
Okay.
Just understanding the business world.
Yeah.
Timing, right mentors like yourself, right? Coming into your life and knowing that. And then the coachability. I
think a lot of times people, they're used to that check every 2 weeks, work, check, work, check. That in network marketing, it's like work. Oh, where's my check? Work, and we're so salivating for that check. To build a business, most business owners don't take a check for a while they're building an asset. And as Robert Kiyosaki says, asset feeds you, liabilities, they destroy you. Correct. So a lot of people that are used to that, they don't understand they got to put something in. I look at Mr. Bezos at Amazon. I mean, he was broke for the first 10 years, and now look at him. Yeah. Because he didn't take a check and the business was going down, he kept doing it, and then it took off. And you get paid. See, investors and entrepreneurs like us, we get paid later, not every 2 weeks. And that's, I think, is a big drawback for the average person, not making it big.
Well, and I think your teachings, when we would listen to you, but it made sense as a business owner, because as a hairdresser, I come out of cosmetology school. What do I have to do? I have to get clients. I got to hustle and get out there and get the clients and do good at what I do, so that people refer people to me, right? And ask for the referrals. So that was a natural thing for me, but I didn't know I was doing network marketing just by doing a traditional business, right? And then my husband, as far as building his construction company, we lost everything in that downshift, and everything.
Yeah.
But because of the asset that the network marketing company did for us, is it showed us that we could turn that around. We could build that back up, right? And so, but it still took time.
Yeah.
It took 5-10 years to ever make a profit.
Yeah.
But we never built residual income.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people have residual income in their life where money's working for them and they don't have to work for it?
Very few of us.
Yeah.
Very few.
I know you do. Yeah.
There's a lot of business owners that are on top today, and 4 years later, whoop, back on the bottom. They got to go build it again. But it's the smart ones will get some residual coming in, and that way have the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the idea of residual income, people don't understand they have to go put the work in to get it out.
Yeah.
And the only place that success comes before work is in a dictionary.
Yeah.
So, because you guys have businesses, and I think what gives a business owner, a leg up is because they know if they don't work, they don't eat.
Right.
And they're not sitting there waiting for every 2 weeks.
Yep.
They got to go hunt. They got to go make it happen, which I respect that so much. And a lot of you folks out there, you can keep your job, put an hour or two a day in your own network marketing business, and watch what it'll do for you. And then when your income's over surpass what your job is in network, then you could, when I was doing real estate, I had 100 agents working for me. I started with 0, but you know what? Here again, I got to go hustle. And every month I start with a big fat 0. I had to go out there and do the same thing over and over again. After a while, they get tiresome. And after a while, you get gray hairs or no hair. And then when you get old, it comes out of here and comes out of There's quiet.
Well, and that was Tony and our conversation. Just what you just said is, we've worked all these years.
Yes.
But every day we had to show up. I had to do another head of hair.
Yeah.
He had to build another home to get paid, right? But when we could see to build that asset of residual income, now we're starting to see, I don't care if it starts at $10.
Right.
Our first residual check was $13.
Yeah.
But now what is it today after, 15 years? It makes a huge difference of understanding, but even the $10, how many people make $10 residual every single month after month, year after year? Something they did, not something they're doing.
Right.
Not most people do that.
No,
even $10.
It's only $10.
Yeah.
But you only need to work one time. And then when it becomes $1,000, then it becomes $10,000. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But they don't last
you've
that long.
experienced that.
Oh yeah. It's amazing how I look back, and I'm still getting paid on work I did 20 some years ago, 20 plus years ago. Something I did one time 20 years ago, I'm still getting paid today on. But that most people, they can't fathom that because they're so busy needing that check, So
yeah. And what, you work for 40 years and then what?
Yeah.
And people are cutting their retirement and all of those different things that are happening out there today, and you don't even have the amount of money to retire on that you can survive on.
It's sad. The 401k went down to a K.
Yeah.
And they used to have the DC plan where they divine contribution, and then with the C, you had to put the money in after the business. But it's so sad now. People can't retire. They can't really afford to retire right now.
No.
So where's the goal? Where's the finish line? There isn't one. It's sad. I was watching 60 Minutes. Go Google 60 Minutes retirement, and you'll see this guy. It was out 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and people still in their 60s, 70s, and 80s still working, which is sad. And there's most people's future, but we don't want to think about it today. But you guys made a great decision because you're coachable. You built a big organization. You're doing fantastic, and things are going great. And then you have a home up in
Wyoming.
A beautiful home up in Wyoming, which I never got a chance to go to.
You're going to come.
But I've been invited. To Wyoming, and they have another home in California on the coast, and they have this beautiful pizza oven.
Yes.
Which, oh my God. Anyway, so some tragic things happened, and in your life, you want to share a little bit about. And the residuals kept coming, right?
Yes. So
while you had to take off time.
When you mentioned something earlier about retirement, I was able to retire because of this company in 2012.
Okay.
From hairdressing. So after 27 years, I could walk away from hairdressing.
Thank you.
And that is such a blessing to be able to have just that feeling of being able to do that.
Yes.
Because hairdressing is hard on your body, just like construction. And my whole goal was to always retire my husband in construction.
Yes.
But
that's really taxing.
Yes. And so walking away from hairdressing, I see today women and men who can't retire, and their body is breaking down and so forth. So that was a huge gift. Now, I will tell you, as you said, I had some tragedy. Unfortunately, the man of my life, my love, and my best friend. He passed away in February last year. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. This is a real call for real people. So,
Yep.
it happens to all of us because we all have to go one day, and we don't ever expect when that day is going to be. We don't even know the hour or the minute when it's going to happen. When it does, I don't care even if you're prepared for it. My mom was sick, and I knew she was, going, and I don't care even when she went, I wasn't prepared for it.
No.
So none of us are.
No, you're never prepared for it. And unfortunately, it was a tragedy, snowmobile accident. And though we had prepared, I could tell you this company truly prepared us. This industry prepared us. And not that I knew that it was ever going to happen, but it did. And, one of the things that my husband taught me from the day one was to live life. And in fact, we had bracelets made that said "Live and Love like Tony." And he just was a great man who knew how to live. And regardless of him not knowing when the end of his days were, that was something that we did. We have 3 grandchildren, a beautiful daughter and son-in-law.
She's right over there?
She's right over there.
Here in the studio.
Yeah, she's in the studio. And those grandkids knew their grandparents, knew how to play, know how to have fun, and that's something that I will continue to take. And it's because of the network marketing industry. I'll tell you, I think business owners just work, and we were doing that. But we were neglecting some of the most important things in life, and I will tell you that these last 15 years have been filled with love and living and being a part of our kids' sports and all the things that we were able to do. And they knew their grandpa. They called him Poppy, and he will never ever be out of their hearts. And so,
and even before that tragedy, you had some family members that were in the hospital, and you took some time away, walked away,
yes.
but those checks kept coming, didn't they? Checks kept
actually
coming.
My husband, there's one thing that happened in 2016 where my husband actually almost passed away, had an intestinal burst, and we had a miracle 7 years ago for him. And I could spend every moment of every hour in that hospital with him, making sure that he had my love, my touch, my feel, prayers. I prayed over him every night, and there was not one soul that could stay every day with their family members on that floor.
Wow.
I was the only one there. And I will tell you, he healed faster because of that. And that's a gift. That's a gift that network marketing gave us, because we were able to understand time and money together.
Yeah. Most people could take off a half a day or a day, maybe 2 days, maybe.
Yeah.
A couple hours. They got to run back to work. Isn't that crazy?
Their boss is telling them, you can't go.
Yeah.
You can't even go. It's ridiculous. I've seen it.
For permission.
Yeah.
My loved one's dying, but I got to have permission to go see them out. See, and that's what people don't understand, the value that network marketers bring. It's priceless.
Yes, it's priceless.
It's very priceless,
It's priceless.
So we got
and
a lot
the
of
family that comes along with it, because the prayers and all the people that will call and support you. It's beyond what the capacity that I could even share.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest gift. I mean, the first phone calls came from Mr. Al Thomas and the founders of the company and friends that are surrounding me here in the studio.
Yeah. Hey.
Yes.
How's it going?
And it's valuable and beyond value.
Not only that, as soon as I heard about it, I booked my flight to get there to his celebration at the winery.
Yes.
I mean, that celebration was amazing. There was when I saw that pizza truck pull up with the oven in it and all the food. Tell us about that donut wall.
Well, my husband was a foodie. So there's so many things with...
That donut was big as my head.
I know.
Bunch of them. They're all 15 and 20 different type of donuts.
Yeah, we did. I said, if we can't do it like this, so this celebration of life was at a winery that Tony had actually just finished. It was his swan song, let's say.
It's beautiful, too.
And it was a childhood friend, and the 4 brothers built up this winery with their parents. And we had this incredible celebration of life, and I said it has to be Tony style. So it had to have pizza oven, it had to have barbecue, and it had to have something sweet. And we went to a couple weddings that had donut walls, and we loved those donut walls. And so I said, we have to do a donut wall for Tony. So, and music and dancing, because being as spiritual as I am connected with the Lord. That's why I can actually have this conversation today with you. But I can tell you that if it would, I could not mourn my husband. I had to celebrate his new eternal life that he had, and that was what we did.
Yeah.
And it was amazing that you were there. And
oh my God, it was it was a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. The sun going down in
drinking
the wineries,
some wine.
drinking some wine.
We had to have wine and Crown because that was Tony's thing.
Yeah, I love Crown. That's mine, y'all. That's Crown is mine.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was so fun. It was not so funny, but I enjoyed myself so much dancing. Have so many friends that we haven't seen in years, and hundreds of people there. I'm like, gosh, he was so celebrated that I didn't even get a chance to go inside the winery to test the wine out. So the next day, I got in the car, went right back to the winery. Said, hey, I'm here for the wine tasting,
Yes.
And I was so blown away, but I would never go back to Napa Valley after that because it was so price conscious. It was great. It was wonderful.
Yes.
But that place was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day, and Tony showed up in a big way with everybody there.
Yeah.
It was a hard time. It was hard, but it was definitely exactly what it needed to be.
So tell us now that
I don't know how I would have done it.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the lifestyle that I have.
See, that's one thing people don't understand about network marketing.
Yeah.
If people open their minds up a little bit more to receive the information, you could be the next superstar. Mm-hmm. But with a closed mind, you can't do that. The only way a parachute works is by opening it up. So open your mind up. What if you only made an extra 10,000 or 5,000 or 2,000 or more than that? Or even less than that, but you got to start somewhere. Because let me tell you something, these jobs don't care nothing about you. Every day as you look in the newspaper or hear the radio advertise or whatever, they're laying off here, they're laying off there, they're always laying off. The question is, what are you going to do when they lay you off? Don't expect anybody to come to your rescue unless you will rescue yourself.
Yep.
So if you're talking to a brand new person today about the industry of network marketing, what would you say to them?
Well, I would go back to the coachability. I would say humble yourself and really understand that finding the right coaches and mentors are the key to really succeeding in this business, not only for the financial side of it, but to grow yourself personally. The wisdom and the knowledge that people have that you can feed from and soak up and be able to apply, because it's not just soaking it up. You now have to apply it. You got to get to work. You got to put what you're learning to work, and that's the only way to succeed here. It takes work. Trust me. It's not simple, but it's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah, it is simple, but most people are conditioned to hard work anyway because they don't realize working for somebody else, they're giving away the best years of their life for a small paycheck when they could be building something on. Like I said, when I started an hour a day, and then it went to 3 hours a day, and then it went full. I mean, I left my real estate business because it overtook that. And the beautiful thing is now I have time and freedom and the money. Yeah. So when you get time, freedom, and money together, I mean, that's a great combination to have.
Well, your lifestyle is what most want to have. So. Yeah,
and I'm nobody special. No, I was very coachable too.
Well, you are special.
Oh, thank you.
You are special.
Is there anything on your mind that you want to share? Any closing thoughts with the people out there listening who are sitting there now drooling and like, oh my God, I want to be like her?
Well, don't be like me. Just be yourself, right?
Yeah.
I would say that anything that you choose to do, you go all in. But if you're considering the network marketing industry, I mean, listening to a mentor like Mr. Al Thomas is so valuable. Like, I don't even know how to put that into words, but to find yourself in a place where you could truly feel like you're at home. I always tell people, you're never going to see me until the day, you're never going to not see me until the day that I die. I will always be here in this company because it's family. Mm-hmm. And being able to, I had a great family. I grew up with a family, but some people don't.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that some people here have found a family that they know that they ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die, they're going to be right by their sides. There's family right here in front of me that will never ever leave my side, and that's priceless.
Yeah. Not only family, but people that is going to support you.
Yes.
A lot of times our family don't support us. They're trying to save you from making a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're going to make a mistake.
No, they tell you the hard stuff here.
Yeah, think about it. What's a couple $100 to start a business? Oh, you're going to make a mistake. Yeah. We do that on clothes.
Yeah. Right?
Man, but it don't make you no money, right? Mm-hmm. So why not you? Why not? Think about it.
Now.
Yeah, when? Yeah, exactly. Time is ticking. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that time is to stand still for nobody? The question is, what's your backup plan? Let me ask you a question before we close this out. When it happened again and they close us down, what's your backup plan? Let me tell you something. My income went this way. Most people's income went that way. Have you noticed when that happened, your income went this way, but your bills stayed the same? What's your backup plan? Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and I want to thank Ms. Jocelyn Driskill here today for coming on and just sharing some truisms about the power of network marketing, the power of real estate, and the power of owning businesses. So that's what this channel is about. It's helping you have a great day, but here again, to show you some things that you can do in your life to change your life and your family tree forever. Because remember, we all got in this business or businesses to be able to retire. If you're a traditional business owner, there's no finish line. You know, if nobody buys it. I know you're waiting for the kids to take it over. They may not want it.